So, which model are we talking about? Well, anything that's got the F in it. So UE40F, or it could have been a UE55F, UE32F, UE60F. There were 42Fs as well. These were just designed right, made to work, and lasted at least 8 years, maybe 10. I've had a couple of these in. Oh, this is a 5500. I had a 6400 in, UE40 6400 in the week. With the same problem. I think it's a backlight issue, but we'll plug it in and check. But these were always repairable. Always. And as you can see, we've only got the top set of backlights working. So it looks like the middle set and the bottom set are out. Now, normally on these, my advice would be put a whole brand new set in. It's a Sunday night. I'm not going... It's quite late, actually. Is it 10 o'clock? Yeah, almost 10 o'clock. So I ain't going down to the lockup to get a brand new set. But I will have quite a few individual strips here for this lying around. So I'm just going to stick it in. We'll get it working again. The reason I'm lucky enough to have so many working but used strips in the workshop is quite simply because I did a 40-inch version of this a few days ago where I put a brand new set of LEDs in, and I took out, was it 8 strips, and 7 of them were fine. There was only 1 strip that went faulty, and so it means I've got plenty of strips. There's probably only 1 strip inside here. The backlights inside here were designed to really last. I mean, there was no problem giving a 5 or 6 year warranty with these televisions. They were always very good. And if you kept the backlight settings down from day one, there's no reason why you wouldn't get 10 or 15 years out of it. That's a good point. We'll test the settings when we get it up and running. If we get it up and running. Always an if. Technically, it's using a sharp panel, and it's got one of those quite dodgy RTK, Run TK, sorry, T-cons inside. They're quite valuable alone on eBay. I think they're about 50, 60 quid. Some people will know why I've just done that. You're ahead of the game if you do. Look at that. No complicated clips and screws with these. You just push out the sides and away they come. A nice thick weighty screen that's not flimsy. I mean, it's filthy, but it's not flimsy. Anyway, the reason why I disconnected the power board from the main board earlier is on Samsung TVs of this ilk. And for many of the Samsung TVs, you could just power up the backlights by just having the backlights connected to the power board and disconnecting the main board. So I'm just going to power up. There was a click. Now, I can't remember. Maybe there's just, and I think there are just two channels, two LED drivers for this. So it's the bottom set that has failed. And the reason the bottom set has failed, there'll be one of these which is just not working correctly. I'm surprised we haven't seen a burnt up one, but we haven't. But I will test them individually and we'll see. Disconnect the backlights from the power supply because you can get a little jolt, as some of you have seen in the past. I will have to switch some lights off just to test. It's looking like I've got problems on the 4th and the 5th. Right, just realised you didn't see that. I've just put 2 used strips in that set and that set. There's a lens which has come off here, which I will have to glue in, and I think there's a lens which has come off there. But I've just plugged everything back in. I'm just going to test that they are now going to light up, and that was the only fault. Oh dear. I can't get any of that 4th strip to light up. Maybe that's a faulty strip too. Maybe I should have checked first. As I say, I've got hundreds of these darn things. Well, they all light up, so hopefully that's all it is. Okay, I'll try now. To glue the lenses back on, I just used this B7000. Just put some little dots on dots of glue where I need to put the dots of glue, and that's it. I do put my glasses on for this though. Okay, that's the bit that can take some time, because each one of these lenses has got 3 little nodules on, and you might have to make sure that the reflector sheet is under those 3 nodules. Otherwise, you can lose a bit of light. You can lose a bit of picture quality. The lights on these shine up, bounce back down, and then cover the whole area. But if you've got this reflector sheet resting above the reflectors, then you're missing out on a bit of light. I'm just going to test again that they are still all working for the 3rd time, I know. The screen is a bit grubby, so before I put the bezel on, I'm just going to clean around the edges first. Now, if you're doing it exactly the same way as me, which you shouldn't, you should be putting a brand new set in if it's your TV, because you're going to want it to last several years. This TV will just be a rental. I don't rent TVs out. It'll be a loan set. So I'm not going to put a brand new set of backlights in. But if you have done it the same way I have, and you've had to glue some of the lenses back on, leave it a bit longer than I have. I would leave it a good couple of hours. I'm just going to be very gentle with the set now, no sharp movements. I'm sure that lens is stuck on quite well. It's been on for 5 minutes, but It is frustrating when you put the TV back together and realise that there's a bright white spot where it's fallen off again. It's all good. It's supposed to be a smart TV. I've got a funny feeling one of the apps has disappeared. I think either Netflix or Prime has disappeared from that. This doesn't bother me, of course, because it's going to be a lone set, but hopefully YouTube is still on here, so we'll give it a test. It's just updating all the apps. Kind of. It's not updated Amazon. It's still called Love Film. Can you see? Do you remember when Amazon were Love Film? Blimey. That's got to be over 10 years ago, hasn't it? Once again, sorry about the echo in the voiceover bits. I thought I'd sorted that, and I've just realised tonight while doing some editing exactly what it was. So I'll make sure that it doesn't happen on the next videos. The other thing I notice, of course, is even though I'm classing this as probably the last great Samsung TV that could be repaired easily, it is on the slow side. Have more modern TVs got faster, or have they done an update to slow them down? Your answers in the comments. I just wonder. I get a bit suspicious sometimes. So just going to do a picture test and see how it gets on for the next few minutes, but I'm sure it's going to be fine, and I'll give it a clean tomorrow. And this is not a 4K TV either, but it was the last great TV that was easy to repair, cheap to repair, and if you're not fussy, you can keep it going for quite some time. So I'm just going to keep it on test for a bit, and I'm sure this TV, even with the used backlights I've stuck in, with standard use, not everyday use, but with standard use, this is still going to last for years and years. It's a great TV. I will clean it up and find a use for it.